on this screen here, you'll see the part that we're going to be programming for CAM operations in index 4-axis machining. I want to draw your attention to this circular icon at the top here, and it shows a 4th-axis rotation setup on the table. You can set it up on the table or in the head. Typically, it would be on the table. So if you see right below the head, you see your axes here, machine axes. So this is your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd axis. Your z-axis obviously is your 3rd axis, and then your 4th axis is on the table, and it points along the positive x-axis. Now, you can set it up positive y-axis, negative x, negative y, whatever your machine requires. In this case, we're just going to be doing a standard 4-axis setup when the 4th rotational axis is pointed parallel to the positive x-axis. Okay, so we'll show you that when we get to part up. The actual part is a table leg. We're going to be putting this square stock on the 4th axis, and we're going to be programming each side of this table leg completely finished on the 4th axis. Down here, the CAM operations, I just have a list of the operations we're going to be looking at. Actually, for this part, you can program this in 3-axis or in only 2-axis. And I think we'll have time, we'll probably be able to show you the 2-axis as well. But here's a list of some of the operations that we're going to be using in each of the indexed positions. So as far as the 4-axis mechanisms go, we're going to be introducing rotate table setups, which is going to be rotating the 4th axis, fixing it in that position, and then we're going to be performing hole drilling, 2.5-axis engraving, profiling, and 3-axis horizontal roughing and finishing in those indexed fixed orientations. Okay, so if you take a look at the part here, we have it just a square stock, and we have, from features wise, we have some dowel pinholes here. We have a decorative scallop that goes along 2 sides of the leg, and you will also notice that the profile of the leg itself is not straight, so it's got curves here on this side, and then it's got tapered walls on this opposite side. So let's go right into the part, and we'll get set up for 4-axis. There we go. So that's basically it. Now you would take this off of the 4th axis, and you just cut these pieces off manually on each end. Now that's how you do it with 3-axis operations. Let's go ahead and show you how, since we have time, we'll show you how to do it in 2-axis. Let's go. Okay. I'm going to drag another window over here, and we'll review this. Same part, same geometry, but you'll notice in the machining job, we have no 3-axis operations. We just have profiling, drilling, more profiling, engraving. So let's just simulate these so you see what I'm talking about. So for the profiling operation, let's just go to the top view here so you can see it. You'll see that I used XY step overs. Let's go to the cut parameters. Okay, so we have a total cut width of 0.35. So it's going to basically do a roughing operation, then it's going to do the final finishing operation. Let's go ahead and simulate that. So it's doing 2 passes. Let's just slow that down just a little bit. And this is just a 2.5 axis profiling operation. So now we have both those sides programmed. Okay. And another profiling operation just cuts out this little area right here. Okay. Since it's 2 axis, we can't wrap around the cylinder. We're just going to cut as deep as the top of the cylinder. Let's just simulate that. Okay. Okay, so we did the relief there on the end. And we did our rotate table setup. So the orientation is downward now. And we're using the same profiling operation to do the reliefs. Let's go ahead and simulate that. Okay, let's rotate this up. And we're going to go ahead and do our standard drilling while we're in this orientation. Okay. Now we're going to do another rotate table setup. With the z-axis pointed in this direction. So we have another standard drill operation. We have our exact same profiling operation. Okay. And we have our profiling operation for the relief area. Let's go ahead and simulate those all together. Okay. Okay, so we still need to do our engraving on the opposite side. So we added another rotate table setup. And with the rotation angle set to 90 degrees. Okay. And we're going to do our profiling operation to relieve it on both ends and the same engraving operation. Let's go ahead and simulate that. There. So that's programmed at index 4-axis machining using only 2.5 axis operations. Hey, Joe, if you're still with me in the background, if there's any questions there, let's see if we can get them answered. So there was a question again about is there any limitations to using the 2.5 and 3-axis operations in 4-axis mode? Again, there are no limitations other than what the limitations are for the 2-axis and 3-axis. Whereas a 2-axis, all you really need are curves, or you can have a 3D model. In this case, we had curves that we used to program this in 2.5 axis, and then in 3-axis we used the model itself. Okay, let's see if we got any more questions there. Okay. Okay, so there seems to be a little bit of confusion on how the machine definition is set up for 4-axis. So let's take a look at the machine definition dialog. So you need to know on where on your machine is the 4th axis oriented. Okay, so is it parallel to your router bed, or is it perpendicular to your router bed? In most cases, it'll be parallel to the router bed. So once you understand this as parallel, in which direction is the positive rotational axis pointing? So in our case right here, we have the 4th primary axis set to the positive X direction. So if you look at the green arrow here, it's pointing in the positive direction of the X axis, okay? So with that set, you can then go straight in and do your rotate table setups. So basically, your first setup is a default orientation, okay, at 0. And then when you run the setup, we got the additional rotate table setups. We have one set to 180 degrees. And look, pay attention to the blue arrow. One set to 270 and one set to 90 degrees. Okay. Now let's go ahead and just simulate this once again. Slow that down just a little. That went pretty fast. Let's go ahead and change some preferences here. Okay. Speed up just a little. Okay, so there's our cut material simulation. Looks like we got finished a little bit early. Let's see if we can take a look at the tools that we're using. If you don't see the machining objects browser where your tools tab is, click this little icon right here and it'll pop it on and off. So what we have here is we have some ball mills. We have our 2-inch ball and our 1-inch ball. Then we have some end mills. We have a 2-inch end mill, 3/4-inch end mill, and a 1-inch end mill. And we don't really using the engraving tool. Go pick exit there. Okay, let's see what else we got. Okay, so let's go ahead and set our post to, I believe it was WinCNC. WinCNC inch. Click OK. Now what we're going to do is post it. Okay. And let's go ahead and post the entire post all. Okay. So here you see our first rotate angle setup. This is our default setup 1. Okay. With the angle of 0. So A is your fourth rotational axis. Okay. And let's go ahead and take a look at where the other, okay. So we have our first rotational axis set to 0, our next rotational axis set to 180, our third set to 270, and our fourth set back to 90 again. Okay. Now, one thing you may want to do is, depending on if your router has an automatic tool changer or not, you may want to have these operations set so that you can do all the operations in one tool and then do all the operations in another tool. Okay, so we have basically we have the flat end mill, or flat, actually looks like we're using a 2-inch flat end mill there. So you could just orient all of these so that you have all the same operations using the 2-inch flat end mill. okay, and then go through and have all the operations in another group of setups for, say, your smaller end mill. And that way you can just run or post all the operations that use that one tool, post them first and run it, and it will rotate your table to the way it needs. It will cut all of your operations. Then you can change the tool and post another set of setups and another tool. So that's one thing you may want to do differently here.